There you go.
Well, my funnest things was, of course, watching him in sport, and it was cool to have him and Jeremy playing together.
I know what you mean, because when they told me they were going to put Taylor and Trey in the basketball game together, and they're like, hey, we're going to put them in together. You probably better record this. It was pretty fun watching them play together.
And then, of course, he liked to go to all the school dances and that, and I guess the funniest part was their junior prom where he was going to wear shorts. And did they end up kicking it out?
They made me put pants on.
But you
I
still
was able to
They
get
did?
I was able to
That's
get the picture,
stupid.
but then they
yeah,
made
as I
me
say,
either leave or put pants on.
I remember they let you take the picture. And then I remember, I guess it was his senior year, he went to junior prom with the gal, and he didn't even bring her by to introduce her. So that kind of
Was rude.
worried me.
Oh.
If she wasn't parent introduction worthy.
Oh, wasn't that the one that you...
Taylor,
I
speak
thought
that
that's the one that we went on horseback and you cooked the dinner up the canyon.
No, wasn't her.
You went on horseback on one of your dates?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
we-
Her
canyon?
prom.
We just passed the church, and you know how right where the water,
Yeah, whose horses?
Warner's.
Warner's, huh?
There was two, and it wasn't even the Warners, but it was me and Nick, and then the two girls. And actually, one of the girl was all made up as far as fingernails and stuff. She wanted to run the horses. The horse bucked her off. She broke all her fingernails. I was worried she had broke something else and wasn't even going to make it to the prom. But yeah, we went up where that little flat was,
It was
and Mom
Christian.
had a barbecue up there and did filet mignon, and we did a little dinner set up there.
Yeah, Kristen helped with that, yeah. And then I
And I'm
guess
pretty sure that's the one you're thinking.
then the worst thing was, I can remember, is Sean would get kicked off the bus a lot.
Oh, I've never heard this.
So, the one time they called and anyway, it was with Cheryl
Did you get kicked off the bus?
Jones, and so
Kristen got kicked off
I
the
made
bus
him-
for fighting all the boys to protect Ryan.
anyway, I made Sean go apologize, and of course he was saying it wasn't his fault, and so we went, and I said, you
Never
know,
is your fault, never.
I said, the thing is, we're going to be in Pine Canyon, say, the rest of our lives. And so we don't want this conflict with people. So I believe you, and of course went up and anyway, I made him apologize, and he was upset that I didn't believe him, and I said, well, it's not that I don't believe you, but it's just that we're going to be living here the rest of our lives, and we don't want to have the contention with.
That's actually interesting. I'm going to put you in on this. Do you remember something similar?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I remember getting in a fight in like
Second grade.
second grade with a kid. I
And-
get off the bus and she's sitting there and his dad's sitting there and we're just screaming at each other.
And what did I make you do?
I do apologize. And then I was friends
And it
with
was
him for-
because
and
we
then I was
were-
friends with him for about 5 years.
And it was
and then I
because
found out
we
why
were-
we got in the fight in the first place.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so now Gary, your child. I've heard some stories about you and Sean, so I'd be interested to know some of your favorite stories about Sean, and then And then I'll tell you what he said, and I want to hear your point of view from it. So, what is your favorite, like?
Probably deer.
One favorite or a couple favorites?
A couple of favorites is fine.
How old is he?
How old are you? You're 52. You'll be 53 next month.
52, 53 years. Wow. Well, obviously, back in the sports days, it was really fun seeing him play. The problem with that was,
I'll put it away in a minute. You can sit down. We can.
it brought out the worst in his dad. Like his junior year of basketball, I tried to help those refs out so much.
And they just kept doing it wrong, huh?
And I was embarrassing our family, the neighbors next to us. So his senior year, I finally had to move to the upper
Sean, you have never told me this.
bleachers.
Hope it makes you
that
feel
I
any
would not
better.
embarrass.
If it makes you feel any better, Sean has never told me that you've ever embarrassed him in sports. But I do
You
remember
didn't throw
one.
a shoe on the court, though.
That was Sean a worm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You at least
Right,
you
did
didn't.
not-
You
right.
didn't throw a shoe on the court at the refs.
That's hilarious.
I was just helping them refs left and right, and it was.
That's funny.
That's one of the things I look back on and I'm going, why? Anyway,
That just means we care. I learned that the hard
yeah,
way.
I was a little too caring.
A little too caring.
So then, moving on, of course, there's and then there's when you were on your way to a basketball game and you'd gotten in a wreck.
Yes, tell us about that because he tells us a lot about that. So I want.
And of course, you do. You're getting a call. I've been in a wreck, and I'm at so and so hospital. And
So he was able to call you, not that
I don't
like.
remember who
No,
called.
I think somebody else.
Somebody else probably
Made the
called.
calls.
We didn't have cell phones and that.
Yeah.
So somebody had called and said he'd gotten in a wreck, and he was at St. Mark's or I don't know, one of the hospitals, LES, one of them. And so it's a long ride from Pine Canyon to.
You've heard this one. I figured you'd like this one. So he's telling me about
The Pine Canyon or
well, the wreck.
the wreck before
Yeah.
or Wrestling State.
So it's a pretty long ride between Twilla and whatever hospital is. So you're going.
You don't have cell phones to give you updates.
Half dead, or is he just hurt, or what's going on? So that was a little bit of an uncomfortable situation going in and finding out that I'm not even sure why they took him to the hospital. I don't remember any injuries, but
I think
Well, it
he
was his
says
friend.
he had a cut,
I think
and so he had blood, but it was like a small cut, but he had blood.
But
all
his
over.
friends like had a lot more damage than he did.
I think that's true. Did he end up playing that night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he did.
Sealed the game with some free throws. Is what
Yeah.
he says at least.
He said at the time he was a good old boy. And Sean, he had some questions, so you probably should stay in here. Anyways, he had told us that the lady that was helping him, that she had said, "Hey, before the cops get here, do you need me to get anything out of your car?" Thinking like drugs or something like that. And he's like, "Yeah, our basketball uniforms."
We have a basketball game tonight. Well, I don't think you young men will be playing basketball. She said.
He was asking if you played that night, and
Yeah,
Taylor
that's-
said, "Yeah, I won or did the."
We beat Bountiful. They were ranked 2 in the state, and I hit 2 foul shots to win the game. that night. Yeah.
Okay, have a Sean. Sit here real quick. We're almost done, dear. Just have a sit right there, or sit where your mom was. That'd be great too. Yep, have a seat. Because I want to see y'all's expression on this one. Okay, because I've been told about a scout trip or something where either he cussed, you cussed, someone cussed. First time you ever cussed.
We were canoeing down the
Oh, that one.
river, and we were the first ones in the water. And it
Welcome,
was so
sir.
cold that we both cussed at the same time. We fell in the.
Oh, shit.
But you know what? We were the only ones to not fall back in the rest of the trip.
That's after we fell in.
That was that. Yeah.
Oh, that was cold.
That's
So another traumatic time was, though, up in Bountiful playing football. I don't know how many years he'd been playing. Anyway, he broke both bones.
That's when I was 8 years old. It was my first year.
First year, and his arms here and his
oh, goodness.
my hands flopped over there, and so you see that and go, whoa, that doesn't. Anyway, there was a. I think she should have stopped. Come over, and she sat right there, and
Anderson.
you're going to be okay. And anyway, what was unique about that was, though, that happened. Took him to the hospital, got all that set, and we made it to the BYU football game. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was an interesting.
What I remember about that is I tried to actually get up, and
It was
no, you guys had said stay down, and I'm only, what would you be, 8? First, I think 8, and I'm sitting there. Well, why are they wanting me to stay down? Because I'd been doing quarterback left, quarterback right, trying to score, and so then they finally had to say, look at you. Like I didn't realize my arm was broke.
Oh, lovely. So
And
it
then
didn't
they
hurt.
finally
huh?
said, well, look at your arm or something. And then I started bawling and going crazy because it was everywhere but where it was supposed to be. But it was surprising. Broke right in half and no pain.
Crazy.
Like you didn't, it wasn't painful, but it sure scared you when you looked at it and
Yeah.
realized, why is my arm
Arm
going
not.
around?
Like, who do we call that? Who did we call Hulk when I twisted his foot?
Gordon Hayward.
I'm like, it's Gordon Hayward or something like that. Or Taylor said it. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Okay, I have a question for you because I feel like I haven't.
Is it for
heard a
Grandma
ton-
and Grandpa?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay, hold
heard
on, I
a
gotta-
ton of stories.
The reason why I'm doing this is because we were talking about doing it for my parents, and I thought we should do it here too. Okay, ask away.
So, first, what's your favorite memory with her, and then what's your favorite memory with him?
How did you meet? That's the first memory.
Well, I think I know the answer to that one.
Well, let's
I
see.
believe my dad's cousin, Vicky, worked with. Worked with Grandma. I thought maybe was in beauty school with you. So my dad's cousin knew my mom's parents, and that's how you were introduced. And I believe, were you pretty serious with somebody else, a Perkins girl, at the time or something?
I think that had broke off by then.
By then.
And if not, he's going to say so.
I don't
Okay.
think our family was ever liked by that Perkins girl. Still, I think she held a grudge all those many years later that you didn't marry her.
If I had to tell that story, it wouldn't quite be that way, but we'll move on. So, probably one of the, going on that cruise we went on together was fun. We just had a good time there.
Where'd you go, or when was that? Was that?
We went to the Bahama
Oh,
chain.
With the Bryans, right? Was that
Yeah.
Brian and
Yeah, his brother couldn't. The mom had bought cruise tickets for all of them for Christmas, and the brother that lives in California couldn't go. So then they asked us if we would like to go. So we just paid the mom for the ticket and
gotcha.
went.
Did you like him at some point? No.
I don't know if that ever happened.
He had dimples is what caught my
What drove you crazy?
I was already through beauty school, had furniture, he had a car, so the start of our marriage was, we didn't struggle like most couples do because I was already working and he was working up at the smelter in Tooele, getting his car. So when we got married, we had a car, we had furniture, and so we went in the military. And I think that was probably the best thing, being a newly married couple, not living near home, so that we had to depend on each other. And so we were close that way because we didn't have parents to run to, or family to run to. We had to work it out. So I think that was probably a good 4 years of our life.
Yeah.
And because of the military, we've always had financial means. We've had a great insurance, which is benefiting us right now, of course. But probably right now, we're as close as we've ever been because of the struggles that we're going through. And Taylor, I'm sure that's why you and your mom bonded, because she was your lifeline at the time. So, trials, as bad as they are, they have a purpose. They bring the family together. And that's why you guys are close, because of having gone through that with Taylor.
You're welcome.
Would have rather been closer in a different way, but not had to have you go through it.
So I'd like to ask a few more questions, but I want to first ask, do you guys want to just sit on the couch? Or I didn't know if you were comfortable in it.
The only one there.
That you had to be here for. So when you found out that you were pregnant with Sean Dwayne Walker.
Dwayne back to
Taylor, I can't believe you said that. Anyways, Taylor just got right in, so now I can't get your dad. I mean, how dare you? Anyways, when you found out that you were pregnant with Sean, what was your first thought, Jan? Were you
I was ready because I was 24 when I had Sean.
okay?
When I had him, I was the oldest one there at the hospital having the first baby.
That is weird that 24 is the oldest back then. Yeah, way back in the day when Mr. Walker.
But yeah, I had taken birth control, so our kids were planned.
Yep.
And then the one thing I'll never forget, it was so funny, when I went to have Kristen, back then we didn't have ultrasound, so unless they thought there was something wrong, so you didn't know.
Gotcha. If it was boy or girl.
Yeah. And that was fun
Okay.
to not know.
Yeah.
You know, but I remember the boys saying, if you have a girl, you can't come home. And so I just got to the hospital. I didn't have any
Epidural or.
no, nothing. Yeah, she just popped right out. So my mom had met us at the St. Mark's Hospital, and she got them home. Well, they hadn't been to their home very long when we called. And I said, well, I won't be coming home because
It's a girl.
it's a girl.
But you also were pretty convinced that Dwayne was going to be a girl,
Yes,
right?
yes, because I carried Dwayne so much different than I did Sean and Jeremy that I thought he was going to be a girl. So we haven't picked out a name for him, so that's why I took the two older boys' middle names
Okay.
for Dwayne. But I think it ended up getting in, so
Yeah.
it was okay.
What about you, Gary? When did Jan came up and said, "Yo, we's having a baby"?
I must have said okay.
You know what Sean said to me when I told him I was pregnant with Taylor? He got mad. He's like, "This was not the plan." And then I went crying, and then I remember seeing him later that evening, and he's like, "What's up, Prego?" And I was like, "I'm not happy with you right now." He had obviously had time to think about the fact that it takes two to tango. But I think I'll have to tell you, Taylor, I think the way that Grandma Jan and Grandpa Gary found out that we were pregnant with you is when we thought I was having a miscarriage. Because we hadn't told anybody, and you guys were working on that trailer over in that trailer park. And I was at the house with Trey, and I started bleeding. And I just started crying, and I run in the house, or run to you guys, and you and Sean were all together. And I told him he had to take me to the hospital, and I think that's when Sean had said, yeah, she was pregnant. But, okay, what other questions we got, Taylor? Okay.
I participated in
I
the
will think of
process.
more, and we'll do more of this later.
Well, one more thing.
Okay, no, feel free to tell us anything you want.
Then we might be done unless you got something. So another couple things that was really nice is when we went out on those 2 missions, especially the one to Texas. That was really fun. And of course you were pretty involved with a lot of stuff, and so having met a couple we worked with, and so very enjoyable time. It's too bad COVID came along and kind of messed it all up, but other than that,
Did that bring you guys home? I can't remember.
yeah, came
But
home
then
and
we went back.
That's
we
right.
weren't
It
going
was
to go
almost a
back.
year later.
Really?
We ended up going back, but that was a lot of good times at that ranch, building, and fixing, and doing stuff.
Where did we go? Was it St. George? We did a family trip. And I think it must have been St. George. Anyways, you guys I think you had come home from your mission or something. Anyways, it was the very first time I'd ever seen you two hold hands. I was walking behind you and you two were holding hands. It was so cute. I'm like, oh.
So other than that, I don't know. It's a real puzzler why we're here, because Pikins were raised, born, raised our kids, and we moved there, and why not stay there? But for some reason, Gary Walker got this itch that we needed to go to Cedar City. I haven't quite
I think I know why.
put all that together yet, other than it sure been nice having these medical facilities closer.
I was going to say, I'm a super strong believer in God has a reason for everything. And I think that God puts you where you need to be. And I think that, number one, you're closer to the facilities. But I also think you're closer to Kristen. And as much as we wish we could be close to you, I think that either way, she's your daughter and she's going to take care of you. And I think that God knew that it was a good idea to be near her. And, I mean, sometimes, because I think the same thing with my parents. I mean, we grew up in Twilla and stuff like that, and they had no interest in moving up to Bear Lake, but they're right next to me. And I'm so grateful, too, because there's been plenty of times that I've gotten a call and had to run down, meet the ambulance at my parents' house, And I am so grateful that they are right there rather than being so far away. And if the 2 boys or anything, and maybe I'm completely incorrect, but if the 2 boys are anything like Sean, obviously they would love to be close to you, but they are not stressing in their heads as much on their way down, where I think, at least from a girl's point of view, Kristen, if something happened to you in Twilla and she had to get to Twilla, I think it would have been harder on her too. So I personally think God put you down so that you're closer with her and closer to the facilities.
Interesting you just said that, because when she was here the other day, she expressed that pretty heavily, that when Jan was going through what she was going through, that it just was eating her up.
Yeah. God has a plan for everybody, and He knows where we need to be, even though sometimes we're like, why do I want to do this? It's just a matter of if you'll listen, and apparently you did, so good job on that.
Well, we're here, so
Yeah, because we'd had to drive to
we
Hudson.
had to sell the Pine Canyon place. We took care of that.
Well, and I think that if, I don't know, like, I think the Pine Canyon place, honestly, that's another blessing in disguise, because I think there were some issues with it, from what I'm understanding. You know, you had to redo a bunch of...
For the Pike Canyon place.
Well, not even that, but I'm saying, like, as far as, like, it was an older place. So you were going to have pipes burst and stuff like that. Whereas now you're in a home that, I mean, it's brand new. Yes, there's a chance that something could break, but there's a really good chance that it'll hold sturdy while you need it to. And you're not going to have something break on you and then be in trouble. Have a furnace go out and be like, crap, I can't, I'm too sick to put this back, so. But, well, thank you for taking part in my thing. I'm going to turn that off.